What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the Schiit Modius DAC, or digital to audio converter. This review is actually born from you guys in the comments. For a long time, I was using my Bluesound Node 2i and no DAC, nothing external at all. I was just using its internal DAC and going analog to my preamp. And so many people in the comments were like, dude, that thing's a piece of shit. It fucking sucks. Even an $80 DAC will be better. Like, any of the cheap DACs are better. One guy even said a $40 DAC would be like a huge upgrade. I got this comment so many times, I was like, fuck it, let's find out. So I ordered the Schiit Modius, which is essentially like it's a Modi with XLR. So like, let's call it $100 to $200 DACs sound-wise. And the reason I say that is because I let my friend borrow this who has like a really high-end desktop system, and he uses a Modi, and he was like, yeah, I couldn't really hear a difference between the Modius and the Modi. So that tells me it's really the XLR is what you're paying for. Anyhow, so this isn't gonna be a really long video because the whole point of this video, this isn't a DAC review, this DAC's been reviewed a million times. The whole point of this video is just to answer the question, is it an upgrade compared to the internal DAC of the Bluesound Node 2i, like all you guys in the comments said? The answer is like, yes, kind of, okay? Kind of. Like, yeah, there's like a little bit more air up top. It's a little bit brighter up top. The higher frequencies were a little bit sharper, and that's about the only difference I could tell. But these were like very, very, very nuanced, minor details. If you came to my house and you plugged in the Schiit Modius, where like I normally did not have any external DAC, I don't think I would notice. If you then came to my house 2 weeks later and unplugged it, again, I don't think I would notice. It's a nuanced difference. So you guys in the comments talking all that mess saying just any DAC is a huge upgrade, you're wrong. I'm sorry. It's just not the case. Now, later I did end up buying an $800 DAC, and that was a big upgrade compared to the internal DAC of the Bluesound Node 2i. And we'll talk about that DAC in another video where I'll actually review it because the difference was quite large, and then I can actually review that because there's a lot to talk about. Whereas with the Modius, you know, being an upgrade to the Node 2i, I keep pointing down there because that's where my Node 2i is, minor differences, guys. So I was kind of bummed out on that because I was hoping you guys were right. It'd be super cool if spending a couple $100 could get me this like huge improvement in sound, and it just wasn't the case. I think where the Modius, or Modi for that matter, will shine is, you know, where you don't have a DAC at all and you're adding this into your system. For example, let's say you have a desktop system, you're using PC audio off your sound card, you add something like this to the mix, yeah, that's probably gonna be a huge upgrade, right? But coming from the internal DAC of something like a Node 2i, I don't think it's worth it. I think you should spend more money, right? Schiit has more expensive DACs that are probably a much clearer, much more noticeable upgrade. Now, if you're like a sucker for those like nuanced details and you've just got the golden ear, by all means do it. You know what I mean? Maybe for you it'll be like a huge upgrade. And I'm not dogging this fucking thing at all. I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, it's not good, or like, no. I'm sure it's a fantastic DAC. My beef is with you guys in the comments talking all that trash, saying any DAC would be an upgrade for the Node 2i. And that's not the case. It's just not. The Modius compared to the internal Node 2i DAC, pretty similar, boys, pretty similar. Again, I recommend spending a little bit more on a DAC if you're coming from a Node 2i. So with that said, guys, I don't have much else to say. It's a good DAC, I'm sure, just not a noticeable upgrade really coming from the internals of a Node 2i. If you have any questions, ask about them in the comments below, but again, it's not really a DAC review, it's just to answer that question because so many of you guys fucking in the comments just, oh, anything's better, anything's, what the fuck are you using an internal DAC for? I think sometimes you guys get a little bit too uptight maybe about these things. Anyhow, I'm gonna shut up. Until next time, later.